Canterbury Park, U.S. Air Force Pit Walk. I have a lot of questions coming into this weekend, and those questions were posed to us in Fargo, so we'll get into it. First, lining up here, of course, points leader Elias Ishul. The question mark was, okay, he's injured preseason. He answered the call. He's a threat, injured or full health. He came away 2-1 on the weekend, holds that points lead, like I said, so super strong weekend for him. Marcus Ogamar, flirting with that podium position, came away with a P4 in round 2. It's a strong weekend for him, and Emmerich Legendre, in his pro light debut, came away with locking into both mains, top 10 finishes in both. So great weekend for Thien and Skidoo once again. Henches Racing, Cody Cam, what a powerhouse. Cody said that Fargo was one of the most memorable weekends he's ever had. Of course, he won another Dominator title. He went out and backed it up with a round 1 win. So he was quite frustrated, it appeared, that he let round 2 go. He would have had $30,000 in earnings that weekend, but take nothing away from him. Still came away with the Dominator win of round 1, so that sets him up pretty in the point standings. Unfortunately, Oscar Norum, he is out. We believe he's going to be out for the entire season, so they had brought over another Swedish rider who's going to be filling in for the AMSOIL Pro class. That's John Malmström. So he's brand new to the circuit, so join me in giving him a warm welcome to the US of A. Team All Finish Racing Arctic Cat. Speaking of injuries, we have Jacob Hirk sidelined for the year. Knee injury, that is heartbreaking for him. So I'm curious to know if he'll be around this weekend and this season. With Jacob, we hope you're doing well. Dan Benham also making a podium appearance, representing for Arctic Cat on the pro podium in round 1 and 2 at the team's home track. How great is that? Up next, we have Team Judnik Motorsports Polaris. So Emil Haar, of course, headlining with the pro class. They had just announced shortly after Fargo that they are bringing over his brother. We know Philip Haar. He made an appearance last year in the AMSOIL Pro class. He was with Zandstra Motorsports Arctic Cat. So Philip has been practicing on the Polaris back home on the Judnik Motorsports sled. So he's actually going to be in the pro light class. So welcome back, Philip. It's great to have you. Carson Allreed, still wishing you the best with that recovery, buddy. Shearing Speed Sports. Okay, one of those questions I have. Hunter Patnode finished outside the top 10, nowhere to be seen in the top 10. Hunter, it's not like you. He just did not have great luck that weekend. So had a DNF in round 1, a P11 in round 2. So expect him to make a comeback. You know, we talk about how Canterbury Park is usually 3rd in the championship tour. This year it may fall as the 2nd stop of the tour, but it's reasons like him, a front runner, having to work his way forward in those points after a rather dismal round 1. He's one of the questions I have. I'm confident that he's going to rally back. And Logan Christian, sitting in the top 5, 5th in AMSOIL Pro points right now, so was able to salvage a great points round. And Logan Christian and Hunter Patnode both had just, strokes of greatness, strokes of a lot of speed there. But again, luck unfortunately not going their way. Team LaValle Polaris, Adam Peterson's another one. We had seen strokes of greatness from him, speed on the Polaris. Really great weekend for Polaris, let's be honest. They had made so many adjustments to the sled. It came out really strong in the whole shots, and no one was stronger in the pro light class than Riley Bester. So Riley, forced to be reckoned with, absolutely once again. And one thing I really enjoy about Riley, since he made his pro light debut, he finished 7th in the points his first year, and since then has not finished outside of the top 5. So is he a threat for the championship? I don't even think I have to answer that. Of course he is. So Riley Bester coming on strong once again. Skoquist Race Team. We have Peter Narsa. Next is for Polaris, Coutu Motorsports. Travis Kern in his sophomore season was hanging around the top 5 in Fargo. And Cole Coutu looking fast as well. Warner Racing, Jordan LaBelle, sweeping the weekend. It's not the first time he's done so in Fargo, so he pocketed a $10,000 bonus courtesy of KPH. Get this, Jordan LaBelle, if you look at the fastest times of the weekend, you look at AMSOIL Pro and Pro Light, fastest rider, fastest lap, Jordan LaBelle. Francis Pelletier, this was a tougher one, son. So similar to his former rival, Hunter Patnode, this was not a weekend that I believe is representative of Francis Pelletier and Warner Racing. So he had a crash, got collected in the first corner. That ended his day. And then the next day, he was battling some soreness, but he was able to finish inside the top 10. So again, I don't think that's the performance that's representative of Frank, so look for him to make a comeback this weekend. And for pro women, one of the most consistent riders, wildly consistent, Nayli LaBelle. On to Krajicek Racing, Troy Horvath is making a comeback for the, well, he's of course been on the sled, locked into the main both nights, by the way. But he's going to be racing the snow bike class this weekend, so I'm expecting a big old rematch of what we had seen last year between Jesse Kirchmeier, Troy Horbati, and Yannick Boucher. Oddly enough, of all the snow bike talent, Jesse Kirchmeier is the only one of the current racers to have won here in Shakopee. That's of the current racers. So we know that guys like Troy are looking to dethrone him here at Canterbury Park. Just to my left over here, we have KC Motorsports Polaris, Evan Christian, Evan Dowd, both very strong weekends for them, setting pretty in the points. So both of them actually making podium appearances. 1-3 Motorsports Skidoo over here. It's great to see this team so actively involved out in Hartford, Wisconsin. That's their home practice track. They actually raced the Midwest Snowcross Regional over the weekend. A few of the teams actually stayed so busy with regional circuits. The 286 series, KC Motorsports was involved with a clinic. We also had K2 Motorsports out racing some regionals, Moline K2. So it's really great to see defending champions like this one out giving back to the sport, investing their time. Flipson Racing, it was announced after Canterbury that they had acquired full-time Kenny Mandrick. That is, of course, Flipson Racing for Skidoo. Kenny was picked up by 1-3 Motorsports as a fill-in rider for Fargo. Kenny really set the world on fire, and I say that because he not only looks so strong, but ladies and gentlemen, he'd never been on a Skidoo before. So to do that, and it's really great to see a talent like him get picked up in his true rookie season. Of course, last year he got injured here at Canterbury Park, which set him out for the year. And speaking of injuries, Nick Lorenz, unfortunately, out for a few rounds. We're waiting on official word as to when exactly he's going to be back, but I did see him. I saw Lorenz pit coat walking around, so I believe he's here taking in the races this weekend. So we hope to see him back sooner rather than later, but he's not out for the season. At this end of the pits over here, Taven Woody, Woody's racing. Over on this end, pitted next to Bo Tibbetts. And then over here, let's go take a look at this guy. And like I mentioned, we have a 2-rider void in the AMSOIL Pro class. That hurts, that's a big one. Well, we have filled that void. We have 2 brand new racers. Like I mentioned, John Malmstrom. We also have Gustav Salston, both Swedish riders, Gustav being brought over by Green Mountain Racing Skidoo. So such an honor to have these 2 gentlemen join the premier class. Jesse Kirchmeier, we all know the bus. We got the snow bike, we have the sled sitting over there. I had mentioned Troy Horbati had locked himself into both pro light mains. Jesse Kirchmeier did also. Now, Jesse has a history in snowmobile racing. Troy is relatively new to racing the snowmobile. So it's great to see both riders diving into racing snowmobile full season, but both heavy hitters back on the snow bikes this weekend. I am so stoked to see these 4-stroke bad boys out here at Canterbury Park. And also really newsworthy this weekend. This is the first time, I believe, if someone can maybe help me confirm this, I checked with a few of our staff members to confirm it also, but never before have we seen a team change manufacturers mid-season. We have Boss Racing True North Motorsports started the season on an Arctic Cat, and now they're making the jump to Skidoo. So we're looking forward to see how well they take to the Skidoo machine, but Skidoo has been strong, we can't deny it. So we'll see how they shape up. Of course, that's Trent Whitwer, Cale Cowan, and Dylan Rose. So that is your U.S. Air Force pit walk. I didn't cover it all. I know I didn't. There's always so much to cover. Thanks for following along with me. You can tune in all weekend long and all season long on Flow Racing. We'll see you here at Canterbury Park for the PIRTEK Snocross National presented by Kwik Trip.